So full disclosure, I was told that you guys would be all liquored up by the time I came up here. So pretend like you're enjoying it, right? The other full disclosure is back in high school in the 80s, we used to wear shirts untucked, and we're told it was disrespectful, so we stopped doing it. But at the same time, I also don't buy my shirts from untucked.com because they're too expensive and they're still too long for me. So today we're going to talk about tenacity, which is a combination of conation, sounds like donation, but it means you do whatever it takes to get the shit done, and tenacity, which we all know, which is you just work hard at it. So, Mike, I think we're good to go. So this guy, pretend he's a sperm. Pretend he's one of hundreds of millions of sperms, right? Because tenacity to me starts, no political statements here, tenacity to me starts at kind of conception, because out of the hundreds of millions of sperms, this guy is the one that crossed the finish line, attached himself to the egg and said, woohoo, here we are. And here's the little guy right here. So a few years later, there I am. And it's at that early age where I'm going to learn about tenacity. And tenacity, conation, and tenacity, I learned from my late father. Hence the name of my company, GTSD Group, Get This Shit Done. But my late father taught me about tenacity because it was years later that I realized when we arrived in Idaho to be part of the migrant stream, there was no work. I didn't realize, I didn't know what the word pawn meant. I didn't realize till years later my dad pawned his wedding ring to get money to feed us for 2 weeks while there was work that came around. So tenacity for me started at an early age. And it set the stage for what I do now. At the same time, my father said, listen, here's the deal. You're now working the fields like we are. You're going to go to school. So that's not really me. That's a cuter version of me. Studying in the fields. But one of my important activities, though, as part of the migrant stream was delivering water to all the workers, my siblings, my older siblings, and my cousins. And sometimes what would happen is we'd run out of water, and we had to sneak into the farmer's backyard, into their hose. And sometimes we'd catch our kids playing with the water. So we'd take the water hose, we'd fill our gallon jugs, they'd be screaming. We'd run away before the farmer came out and we'd get in trouble. And, you do whatever it takes to get things done. So, but it was an important lesson for us. And at the same time, it was my dad who decided we're going to move from San Antonio, Texas, where they have jeans, boots, and a different drawl, to a place called Holland, Michigan. And it's like, well, what you talking about, Willis? I would never say that to my dad because it would result in an open hand slap on the butt. Seriously. So we go from jeans, boots, and that drawl to this. Whoa. So not only are they wearing different stuff, but they got wooden shoes, which hurt. I tried them. Don't ever try them. Six pairs of socks ain't gonna make it work. Here's what we needed to do, though. That's not what it looked like back in the 70s when I moved to Holland. We needed to figure out a way to integrate. So how are we gonna make friends? These guys have no tans. We have a different accent. We think differently. So how are we gonna connect with these people? And I thought, Mama Alvarez. Oh, Mama Alvarez, here's why. She was fixing us tacos for lunch every day. So what did we do? We're going to share our tacos with our Dutch friends. But we didn't share them. We sold them for $1 a piece. Not only did we get $1 a piece, but we got their PB&J. Oh, man alive. It was awesome. Tenacity at its best. We did what it takes. How else did we integrate? I'm going to challenge Laura, the beautiful, blue-eyed, blonde-haired, 5th grade girl, as class president, and I won. Imagine that, my first year there. It was ugly. I think it had to do with the tacos that I won some of those votes. I don't know, it could be. But tenacity has come across in so many ways. So fast forward to when I had to go to college, first out of 8 kids. Holland, Michigan is smaller than the Michigan State campus. Holy shit, yeah, I panicked. There it is. Worse than Jodie Foster in Panic Room. We panicked. But we did whatever it takes with tenacity, conation and tenacity. It took it to the level of, you'll do whatever it takes in college, you do whatever it takes with tenacity, so much so that my brother, we look alike, don't we? He once pretended to be me to sign up for a class because I was in a cast and I couldn't get there in time. He lied to the dean. He came back to me, he says, dude, I don't know what your major is. I told her it was social sciences. Whatever it works. Did she believe you? Yeah, I was able to sign up for class. The same tenacity that allowed me, with my first political job out of college, to almost beat this guy. I didn't. And by the way, the answer to the question is, I don't. So, anyway, but tenacity is what allowed me to do this. My first job out of college is in politics. But tenacity is also what allowed me to work for a large credit union and allowed me to take on the big banks as a small credit union because friends don't let friends use credit unions, or in this case, use Comic Sans font because it's ugly, right? The type of tenacity that it takes to, when you're being told otherwise, you will never move your hips like Prince in order to raise money for Mott Community College scholarships. Screw you, I nailed it. We raised $20,000 by moving and lip syncing to Prince. Tenacity, that's what it takes. So I go back and everything I learned from my late father, he always said, you do whatever it takes to do what's right in the community, and that's the passion I had. That's what tenacity allowed me to do. And as a result of my work in the community, I was labeled a GR hunk. That's kind of scary. GR hunk? All I know is I was doing good stuff. Look at me. Yeah, there's no hunkiness here, right? Tenacity is not about being a superhero, especially a sad-looking one. Look at that guy. It's about no excuses. And tenacity really is about this. Tenacity is the same thing as, Malone asking the question. Tenacity, jumping ahead. Tenacity is playing basketball at 6 a.m., running 5 miles at lunch, and then when you get home, your daughter says, hey, Dad, you want to play tennis? And you go, yeah, okay, because it's the right thing to do. That's your rewards right there. A little leave and a little wine. It's amazing what it'll do. Here's what tenacity really is about. It's about no excuses because we have none. It's about Malone asking, what are you prepared to do? What are you prepared to do? Conation and tenacity. The same tenacity that allowed that 1 out of hundreds of million sperms to find its way to the finish line attached to the egg is the same tenacity we utilize to reach and cross every single finish line we strive for. Thank you.
Wonderful job. Thank you, Raul Alvarez.